Today in the Wise News Network studios, I'm Rusty Wise, and we have a dynamic duo, Darin and Brooke Aldridge. The country couple, I guess you could say, country, bluegrass, Americana, gospel.
Yeah, do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming in.
Thank you so much. We're glad to be here.
And we're talking about a great benefit concert that's coming up next Saturday, May 25th. Can you speak about the benefit concert a little bit?
I think this is our 7th or 8th year, right?
Something like that, yeah. Getting pretty close, if not.
We've done several in the past. Haven't done one since 2019. Of course, the pandemic kind of stopped that for several years. So we decided to up and do it this year and get with our good friend Jimmy Fortune that was at many of the concerts that we've done. And just have this fun family event next week, right, Britt?
Yeah, it's a great benefit concert, and all the proceeds go to the Shriners Hospital for Children. So we're so excited to be back doing that this year. It's always a great concert, great turnout, and family fun. A lot of people bring their kids and their animals, and we'll be up at Woodmill Winery this year at their event center that they just built. So it's a new venue.
And it benefits the Shriners Hospitals for Children.
It sure does. In the past, we've been collectively, out of all the concerts we've done, we've raised over $100,000 at the concerts. So the past. So we're looking to add to that this year.
Now you're playing with Jimmy Fortune and Josh Daniel. Can you tell me a little bit about those artists?
Well, Jimmy Fortune, of course, is Country Music Hall of Famer. He's with the Statler Brothers for I don't know how many years, probably close to 20. He started in the 80s, and I'm not sure when they retired, but I would say around 2000,
maybe
something like that. And he started, solo career after that. He moved to Nashville and has been songwriting, singing, and playing with several artists, doing collaborations with Daly and Vincent, and just the list goes on and on. And we met up with Jimmy probably in 2015 for the first time and started touring some with him and found out a lot about him. Jimmy's just like he's from Cherryville, man. He's just a good old town boy and likes all the things that we do. And just got to knowing him and found out through one of the shows in Virginia that he done that his son was actually helped by the Shriners when he was like 20 years old. Jimmy had his firstborn child about that time, and he had spina bifida, and a Shriner come to the hospital and met with him and said, "We'd like to help your son."
So he's giving back.
He sure is.
Now tickets you can get them online. I know there's a QR code on the poster there. And how much are tickets?
Tickets are $25 in advance and $30 at the door at the gate there that day.
And so it's probably unlimited. I guess it's a big venue.
It is a big venue. We decided
to
have it up there this year, like we said, so everybody could be outside. It's Memorial Day weekend. Shriners will be cooking hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue. I know that they'll have the wine and the slushies out there that they do at Woodmill Winery. And I know we've got some different coffee and frosties and all kind of different stuff that's going to be going on for the day. So you can bring your lawn chair, sit outside, and have a big time.
Starts at 4 p.m.
It does.
4 to 9. Yeah.
4 to 9.
Yeah. So we'll be taking a few breaks, time to eat, and get music started in between the bands. Josh Daniels is going to kick us off. And he's from Charlotte. We've been knowing Josh for probably 6 or 7 years as well. I guess they could say he was one of the most streamed artists during the pandemic of 2020. He did a live stream show from his home in Charlotte.
Oh, really?
Every day. And he's really amazing to watch as a solo artist. He can play all types of genres of music, and just had a good time with Josh over the years. We thought he'd be great to add to the program to kick things off as people's coming in and getting relaxed there that afternoon and before Brooke and I come on and bring Jimmy on.
Sounds like a big time, fun time.
It will be.
That's what we're looking for.
It always is a fun show, so we're excited to be bringing it back this year.
And we appreciate you guys giving back also.
Well, thank you. I've been a Shriner myself now for going on nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
And, of course, been a Mason longer than that. And Cherryville Shrine Club's a really good organization. Of course, Oasis is, and I've been proud member of that. And are you a Shriner as well?
No, my dad is.
I thought he was. Yeah, I thought they were, but I didn't know if he was or not.
He got his 60-year pin like last year.
Right.
Yeah. So it's at 1350 Woodmill Winery Lane in Vale, North Carolina.
Vale, North Carolina, about 9 miles from Cherryville here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Up at the country roads.
It is beautiful up there.
Yeah. Now I want to talk a little bit about you guys. You know, I listened to your album, and it's a very interesting album. The brand new one that you just came out with, which is Talk of the Town.
Yeah.
Now, are you the talk of the Cherryville town, or how did the name come about? Because I know one of the verses in the first song, you say that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
that's where that title actually came from. But, you know, with us we had a new mural that was presented to us last year, and we were just honored to get that. So the name also kind of stemmed from that.
Right.
But yeah, we're excited to have new music, and it kind of showcases what Darin and I have always been about. With our Americana style, bluegrass, gospel, country, like we've got a little bit of flair for all those things. Yeah, we love all those types of music. And so I think this album really showcases all of those things.
And it kind of creates Talk of the Town.
Yeah.
You know, as the theme when we was in Nashville, when it released, we did the Opry that night of the release on the 19th, I think, of April.
That's right.
And we played the station in the night before, did a lot of media there. So everybody that saw that said, we all Talk of the Town this week, you know, and it's the first time in our career that the album debuted on Billboard at #1.
Yeah, I saw that. It's #1.
Yeah.
And it's a very good album. It starts out with bluegrass, You Want to Tap Your Toes, and then it gets into some gospel and then Americana.
Yeah.
And then the very last song is Vince Gill's singing, and he's singing about someone. Can you enlighten me on what that is about?
Yeah, it's about a mentor of his, and one of the first gigs, I guess, out of high school that Vince had was he grew up, of course, playing all kinds of music that he still does today, you know. But he got on with a great bluegrass band and a good fiddler there named Darin Brooke. He was from Oklahoma and Kansas area. And Byron actually played with Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys back, I think, in the 50s. And he was the first one to record Sally Gooden, which we mentioned in the song, which is one of the biggest fiddle tunes ever. So Vince was just a young teenager out playing with him, and he passed nearly 2 years ago. And Vince wrote this song about him. So we've been knowing Vince for several years, and he's mentored us and had us play at the Opry and at the Ryman with him. And we've recorded with him before. And so we were at Christmas up there after one of the Opry shows and spent the weekend in Nashville and was at his house and was asking him about some songs, because also during the pandemic, he was at home more than not touring. So he signed a new publishing deal, and he started writing with a lot of the kids in college at Belmont University there in Nashville. So he was writing a lot more, and he said, I'd love to give y'all some songs to record on your new record. So he told me he would send some in a couple weeks, and he sent me 3 or 4, and then he sent me this song. Well, I'd heard him sing this song on the Opry the night that, the weekend that Byron had passed. So I asked him, I called him up and I said, man, did you mean to send me that, or was that a mistake? You know, because it's such a personable song for him. He said, no, I think you'd sing that very good. You know, and y'all are really good in bluegrass and in the charts and radio and everything. And he said, I don't know that I will record the song anytime soon. And you're looking to record it now. So I think it'd be a good fit for you and Brooke. And I had the same type of story with when I was a young man, 18, 19 years old. I got with the Country Gentlemen, which was a big bluegrass band as well, and traveled the country. So the story can kind of run through my, you know, time frame as well. So it's a great tune called Million Memories.
Yeah. Yeah. I listened to it. It's very emotional at the end. And
so I sang the first.
Kind of end the album with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I sang the first couple lines and the first 2 verses, and then Vince comes in, kind of a surprise. I asked him, I said, man, it's such your story. I'd love for you to join me with it. You know, me and Brooke.
Do you have a favorite song on that album? And I don't want to put you on the spot, but you know, there's always one that kind of sticks out.
Yeah, that's really hard. I really like that song actually, just because of the story behind it, and I think it's so personal, you know, to Darin and I both, because we have had a lot of mentors down through our lives, and not just in music, in all aspects, I think. And We're very blessed to come from communities where people have always rallied around us and cheered us on for, what we wanted to do. Not just us, but like I've seen that throughout other kids and people in the community. So it's good to grow up in a small town where people really do, you know, care about the people in the
Absolutely.
town and the community. It's
And
just
Cheryl's always embraced Brooke, and of course I've been blessed here all my life.
So
So it's
y'all are
been
both
really
full
good.
time now. This is what you do full
Yeah.
time.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, and starting in Cherryville, I know you've mentioned it before. You got started just by picking with guys in Cherryville, and
Sure did.
so tell us a little bit about that on how Cherryville's influenced, your music.
Yeah, it's been a great community. Of course, my mom and dad both had music in the house always, just like Brooke's family. But growing up, they'd have little parties and folks, and there were so many different pickers like Fred Eisenhower and Morel Summers, and a lot of different guys, and Jack Bingham, and the crowd, the folks that picked down at the cabin there here in Cherryville for years since the 70s. And I remember some of those guys coming to our house and picking at my mom and dad's basement and having different little picking sessions and jamming. And I'd be right in the middle of them, when I was 5, 6 years old, just walking around. It's something I always wanted to do. So when I got a little bit older and playing in church and, playing the guitar and banjo, and then I got invited to come down to Jack's place where there was a ton of pickers there. Well, I'd come of age when I was just about 15 or 16 to start hanging out and driving down there myself. And man, it was like a school really 101 for me to get to pick with so many folks around. People would drive, an hour or something to come to Jack's bomb shelter and cabin to play. So I learned a good foundation down there picking and playing with all the folks. Shelby's got a bunch of musicians over there too that's right beside of us here. So it's a very good community.
Now, how did you guys meet?
Well, we actually met through our families.
I prayed for a long time.
His mom and dad are actually from Avery County, and that's where I grew up. And our families would always see us at different times, of course, until we finally got to meet up sometime. And they'd say, "You need to meet Brooke," or "You need to meet Darin," And I think it was just eventually meant to happen.
Finally at the right time.
Yeah. Yep. So we give them credit for getting us
Yeah.
together, I guess.
I had just come off from touring with the Country Gentlemen. We met late 2005,
Mhm.
I think it was, and Charlie Waller and the Country Gentlemen had passed in 2004. So I was kind of in between professional gigs at that time. I was playing with a lot of different people, and Brooke was just graduating college about that time, and that's when we met and in church. And a friend of hers invited me to come up and play with her band. First time I heard her sing, and saw her, I was blown away, and
Yeah,
definitely wanted to sing with her because that's what I've always done is sing harmony or lead with somebody, and heard that voice. And I kind of got in there and elbowed the other two guys out of the way and said, "Let me sing one with you."
and Brooke's been vocalist of the year
I have.
quite a few years, I saw.
I have by the International Bluegrass Music Association, which is kind of like the CMAs for bluegrass
Yeah.
music. And so I've been really honored to receive that award. Yeah.
4 years straight from 2017 on.
Hmm.
You guys have won a lot of awards, and I look forward to more awards
Well,
because
thank you.
y'all are only getting better.
Well, thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
We're always honored to be recognized for doing what we love.
What does a typical week look like for you guys? Or is there a typical week?
Not really in the music business. It's especially right now with the record coming out in April. We've done a lot of touring and media and, planning with the agencies. I do a lot of that on the phone and computer. Brooke does a lot of social media work and activity like that. So we each kind of got our own job that we do. We've got a manager there in Nashville and a publicist too that we work with that works for us. And with the record label, and there's always something going on. And plus an agent that books us all over the country, which we've dealt a lot with here lately. So this year we're going to be out in California in June and Nevada. And then we've just booked a New England run through September. So lining all that stuff up and
We're up in
planning.
Canada.
Yeah, we're in Canada this year in August and flying and just getting all that kind of logistics going.
I've noticed in the music industry, there's more and more bands touring now. Do you think that's because there's not as much money made off the music? because I know a lot of the older bands are coming back out to tour and they're selling shirts and they're getting money off the concerts. But it seems like in some genres, they're just not getting the royalty money off the songs anymore because it's all streaming now.
Right.
You know,
correct,
used to you
yeah.
bought CDs or cassette
Mhm.
tapes and now it's all streaming.
Mhm.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, they don't even have CD players in cars anymore these days much. So
Right.
everything's going to like a USB
Yeah,
card or
good
whatever.
thing for us is a lot of folks that follow like a lot of classic country music and bluegrass is they still buy albums and CDs. Not as much, but definitely the younger generation will not, and they do stream a lot more. But we've been lucky. I mean, one of our songs off the new record's already been. I talked to the record company this morning. Been streamed 2 million times, so that's
Wow.
very good in our genre.
Mhm.
For that.
And your videos are doing well too.
Yeah,
I saw
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's we getting the best of both worlds, I guess you could
that.
say.
Yeah, congratulations.
But the good thing about the CDs maybe are going away, but vinyl is coming back. So
Yeah, we sell a lot of vinyl
a lot of young
records.
people love that. Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting that, I think everybody tries the digital age, but there's still something about touching and feeling.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember my Kiss album, the Live 2 album that,
Right,
folded
yeah.
out and, in late 70s.
Well, all of those legacy acts, like you mentioned, they can still draw a great crowd, and they have a name, like you mentioned, Kiss and the Doobie Brothers and the Eagles. And
The Eagles, yeah, I
so-
went saw
so
them with
many,
Vince and the Eagles, yeah.
Yeah.
They came to Charlotte twice within like
Right.
6 months, yeah.
Mhm. And there's so many newer artists that the newer age folks from their 20s and 30s, you can't name 5 of them.
Yeah.
They don't have that big name and draw. There's just too many of them that come in and out and fade. And what songs do they have that you can remember?
Yeah. Well, 70s and 80s and even late 60s, that's the basis of a lot of songs.
Oh yeah, but most definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of the music industry, Beyonce getting in the country.
Mhm.
Would you see that happening into the bluegrass genre or anything? Like, you see a lot of pop artists change, maybe just because of the newness, or they're trying to make more money, or they just to see if they can do it.
Mhm.
What would you think if Beyonce wanted to get in bluegrass?
Well, I mean, the song that was so big that she had
Texas
several bluegrass artists on there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Actually,
Rhiannon Giddens.
ran and played banjo on that song, and she's from here in North Carolina.
Yeah. They got her labeled as country, though.
Right,
Right.
right. But it's I think there's been so many successful artists, and especially as big a female artist as she is, just following somebody like Dolly Parton.
That can
Look
cross
what
over.
Dolly done
Yeah, she
You
went to
know,
rock. Yeah.
in the 80s, of how that she, mainstream crossed over to so many pop hits and country, but she was still Dolly,
Yeah.
through all that. And I just look at those examples of hearing her talk about it or some legacy act like that, and look at the difference of the time.
Well, there's a lot of country artists, I think, even from the 90s and some now, the newer artists that are doing bluegrass albums. And so it's kind of hard to categorize people anymore these days anyway. I think genres have kind of changed and
Yeah,
kind of merged.
cross-pollinated a lot.
Well, you
Yeah.
can't listen to bluegrass without tapping your foot.
That's right.
It's impossible.
Yeah,
With the bass line
Mhm.
going, you've got to tap your foot to
right.
it.
That's it.
What's the future look like for the dynamic duo?
Well, we just want to, we have goals still that we want to reach. We get to play the Opry quite often, which we're very grateful for, and hope that call always continues to
Mhm.
come in, and maybe get to be a member one day. But we would love to play like Red Rocks Amphitheater and some of the bigger festivals out in California, which we're getting out that way more this year. But maybe winning a Grammy, at some point.
Yeah,
so
get
we've
nominated for that.
yeah. But just touring as much as we can and bringing happiness to folks through our music. That's what we love. So making a lot of friends.
Well, you guys do that. You do it with all your genre music,
Thank
with the gospel and the country and the bluegrass and the Americana. You just got it all together. And it's amazing that one album has all that.
Yeah, we decided to really do that this time, and not I guess be bound down to one thing, Just be us.
Well, we're going to mention the benefit concert again. Like you say, guys, it's Saturday, May 25th at the winery. And sounds like a good time. It really does.
Jimmy's an amazing singer. Y'all folks come out and listen to him. We love getting to sing with Jimmy. We'll do a set ourselves. Of course, Josh Daniels will kick it off, and then we'll bring Jimmy out to do a set of music, and we'll play and sing with him.
Yeah, Woodmill Winery in Vail. So audience, look it up. The tickets will be online. It's $25 before showtime, and at the door it's $30.
It is. Yep. All proceeds, go to the Shriners Hospital to help children. And so we're looking forward to giving a donation again this year.
Well, Brooke, Darin, really appreciate you guys coming into the Wise News Network studios. It's been a pleasure. Any parting words?
No, we thank you for all that you do for the town, and glad we're from here. Thank you for Charitable Shrine Club and all the sponsors that has helped us so far getting this concert together.
Yeah, we hope to see you on May 25th.
Well, I'm Rusty Wise with the Wise News Network in the studios with Brooke and Darin Aldridge. It's going to be a great concert next Saturday, May 25th. We'll see you there. So long.